back, and we survived the one-room challenge.
6 weeks.
I know. We said that we'd hop back on this week and answer any questions that you might have, and we'll do that in just a moment. But before we'll share our garden tour with you, we went on the Trade Secrets Garden Tour, and it's an annual event. If you live in New York, New Jersey, or Connecticut and wanted to attend the event, it's one of our favorites. Or if you wanted to travel for it, it's totally worth it. There are 4 homes on the tour, and their gardens do not disappoint.
They're insane. They're like manicured forests.
Yeah. It's really, really cool to see because we're looking to start landscaping outside here, and we have 17 acres. And
17 acres.
Yeah, and 4 of them are just grass. Like there's nothing on it. There's nothing planted. So we'll get started on that. I'm sure it will take years and years to get right. But we like to go and see what other people do so that we can get some good ideas. The first day of the event is the garden sale, and this year we were completely rained out, but we still had a chance to look at all of the beautiful products that helps transform our garden. And we got to catch up with some friends.
We're Dana and Danny of DBO Home, based in Sharon, Connecticut.
Dana's been talking to me about making stalls for a long time. I spent about a week making all the jigs for everything, and it just allowed me to make it much more efficiently, rather than making every individual chair from scratch. It was make all the legs in one go, and then make all the seats in one go, and it just made things much easier. So it actually made it far more efficient, the whole process.
The garden show is a collection of vintage, new, and handmade vendors. It's really well curated, and we always find something that inspires us. Now it's time for the good stuff. We get to visit 4 homes and have a first-hand look at their amazing gardens. It's inspiration time because we have to figure out how to landscape our home. I hope you get some ideas too. This is Bunny Williams' house, and it's a Greek revival house just like ours. And her pool house? We are always interested to see what Bunny does with her landscape because it talks to the house really beautifully. Everything melds together. One thing I really like about Bunny Williams' house is she has all of these different outbuildings and different areas within her landscape. She has an area for her chicken coop, for her gardening. She even has a little indoor-outdoor area, and it's really well defined, and you can see how they use the space.
Now this is what really piques my interest. I would love to start a mushroom farm in our backyard. Kind of been researching it here and there, and maybe this is the year to do it.
All right, we have some questions here that you guys sent in, and we want to make sure that we answer them on camera for you because this is just so much easier than writing out stuff, right? Yeah. So the first question is about calcimine paint. And we found this very old-fashioned type of paint on the ceiling of the dressing room. And if you're restoring an old home, you might bump into this. It can be a real nightmare.
It's horrible. Horrible.
It causes the paint to peel. So when we painted the ceilings with the Pharaoh and Ball paint, nothing wrong with the Pharaoh and Ball paint, nothing wrong with the primer. We went to paint them and it all peeled up because the calcimine paint reacted to the moisture in the more modern paint.
Yeah, and also even the joint compound. The joint compound has a lot of water in it, so all that moisture just went into the calcimine, and the calcimine said, "No, I'm going to curl up." So
yeah, it was bad.
So we use something called Peel Stop, which we're going to put in the link below. That works wonders. You know, we had heard about people wrote to us and said you need to wash it or maybe put drywall over it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different options. We weren't going to drywall over anything we didn't have to because we love the feel of the plaster. And even when you re-plaster drywall, you can get pretty close, but it never feels quite the same. Like there's a bit of a texture to it that you're just not going to get. So the Peel Stop seemed to have worked pretty well. So, you know, I've been going for a week now and more layers of paint, which add more moisture, no more peeling. So we're going to say that the Peel Stop worked.
Yeah.
You know, come back in a year and we can, you know, maybe be crying.
Time will tell. I mean, if I think if the Peel Stop makes it through the humidity of the summer,
Yes.
that would be a really great marker to see that it's successful and that it seems to work. But in theory, we put more moisture on top of the Peel Stop and nothing happens. So in theory, we should be able to call it safe.
Work. And we found out that our entire third floor, which has been used as storage, it's all calcimine paint.
Great news. That's
Fantastic.
sarcastic. Yeah, I'm being really sarcastic right now. You know, if we do bump into more issues on the third floor when we start renovating up there, we'll test out different products and we can tell you how each one performs. The Peel Stop was like working kind of like with really runny glue, and it seemed to be okay, but maybe there's a better product and we'll just have to dig into it. The next question someone asked, please do a whole post about that insane bed canopy. This bed canopy was so much work, and I'll tell you about the three main parts of it so that you can get a better idea about what the project encompasses. I don't know that we'll do a whole post dedicated to it because it's very complex to explain. If you're super talented with different types of tools and stuff, you'd probably find it like a moderately hard project. I know I did, and
I got to use a pneumatic staple gun and a pneumatic brad nailer, so I was totally excited.
Will was really excited.
And what that is, a lot of people ask what pneumatic is. It's just an air gun. It's air powered, so it's hooked up to the air compressor. We use the brad nailer to put the box together, and we use the stapler to staple all the fabric onto the box.
So there's kind of a three-part project. First, you need to build a wooden box and screw a wooden board to your wall so that you can slip the box onto it. Then you need to cut all your fabric and sew the trim onto it. After that, you need to get your air-powered stapler or your pneumatic stapler and staple the fabric to the wooden box, which you're pleating it as you are stapling it. So it probably took us maybe like 15 hours to make it because my mom did all the sewing and then we had to get up there and test it out and stuff. So it's a pretty intense project, but definitely well worth it.
Yeah, you can do it with a hand stapler. It's going to take you forever, and your hand's going to kill you.
Yeah, your hand's going to
afterwards.
hurt. So if you have one of the air-powered staplers, it's well worth it.
Invest.
Someone asked, a very important question is, when can we look forward to another podcast about the Stony Fort history?
This is it.
This is it. So podcast has now turned to video. If you've just started following us with the One Room Challenge, way back in the day when we bought the house about 3 or 4 years ago, we started doing a podcast about the history of the house. And it was really cool, but we only got up to episode 3 because, well, work happened and stuff like that. And we also started to blog a little bit more and hang out on Instagram stories and Snapchat. So we were a little bit all over the place, but now that we're on video, I think it makes more sense to share that story here. And here's what we want to do. Do you guys ever watch like all of those like murder mysteries or crime dramas, and they have the big murder wall where
Susan wants a murder
I
wall.
want a murder wall. They have like the big timeline murder wall where like they put all of the different characters and, you know, who said what and when stuff happened in a timeline. That's what we want. The last question here. This is a really, really good one and hard one for us to answer. Are you saddened that your office isn't in the lovely wallpapered dressing room anymore?
Yeah, because it's still in the hallway right now.
It's in the hallway. I'm not saddened that our office is moved because we do need to take the steps to move it to the third floor. So we're a little uncomfortable. We're in like a transitional space right now.
We need electricity up there. There's very little.
The third floor hasn't been renovated since the 1930s. So there's very little electricity and very little heat. There's no plumbing.
We don't need heat.
Yeah, we really don't need heat to work.
But I need electricity for the iMac.
Yeah, we need electricity. So we also, there's an old bathroom up there that's like frozen in time from the 1930s. So we'd like to renovate that. There's a lot of stuff that we want to do to the third floor, but electricity is going to be key to getting our office up there. Doing the dressing room and not having our office in there was an uncomfortable renovation leap that we needed to make. We'd rather not work in the room next to our bedroom because we have this whole third floor above us, and why wouldn't we use it?
Yeah, so you guys are going to have to hit the subscribe button and follow us as we continue this vlog to see what we do with this big old house that we have.
Third floor. Third floor is scary.
It's real.